Hello everyone, welcome to JavaExpert. In today's video, we will discuss about QueueChannel with Poller in Spring integration. If you are new to Spring integration, I request you to watch our previous video where I have explained very basic things about Spring integration that will really help you to understand about what is Spring integration and how it works. So if you are new to this, please watch our previous video so that you can understand the basics. So today, we are going to demonstrate how QueueChannel is working in Spring integration. So if you're going to use QueueChannel, then you need a Poller also. In our previous video, we have demonstrated direct channel. So first we will see what is the difference between QueueChannel and direct channel. So if you see the QueueChannel, so I have given a simple diagram. This is what you're going to implement in practical also. So here we're going to have a client and we have a message gateway, and we have a two different components. One is place order, that's our business component, and another one is confirm order. So we have these two different components where is being connected through the channels. Here it is going to be QueueChannel. So we have three different channel. One is request in channel. So that is the channel is there between message gateway and place order. And place order to confirm order, we have a order process channel. That's a QueueChannel. And from order confirm to reply, then we have a order reply channel. So that is also QueueChannel. So in case of direct channel, so that's also exactly similar to this one only, but in direct channel, direct channel itself, it's responsible to invoke the next component. For example, from place order to we have to invoke confirm order. So in between we have a order process channel. So the same thread only is responsible to invoke the confirm order. But in case of QueueChannel, that is different. So here the components are completely independent, right? So place order, what will do is it will process the request, whatever the logic you build inside the place order, it will execute, and finally the outcome will be placed into order process channel. So that's it. The place order functionality is over there itself, and when the order confirm channel, so basically order confirm component will invoke is that we have a Poller, right? This Poller component need to pick the message from the order process channel, and it has to hand over to order confirm channel so that order confirm component will execute it. So Poller means is a proof of threads which will know uh, frequently it will check whether we have any message in the queue, and if it is there, it will pick the message and will hand over to the corresponding service activator method to process it. So this is what Poller means, guys. Poller means it's a thread. It will continuously monitoring a queue. If you have a message, it will pick from there, hand over to the actual method which has to process the message. I hope you understand basics about how this Poller and QueueChannel works. So in Spring integration, we have a QueueChannel is being provided by Spring itself. That's a in-memory QueueChannel. So which means you can place the message. So it will be persisted till this application is getting restarted. Suppose you have placed 1,000 messages in a queue, but all of a sudden you have restarted the application. That message is no longer available because it's a in-memory queue. If you want to persist permanently, you have to use some third-party message queues like IBM MQ or Solace queues or Kafka or RabbitMQ, something you have to integrate with the Spring integration. So that's where you can permanently persist your message queues. Now in our example, you're going to use only in-memory QueueChannel just to demonstrate how the QueueChannel works. So I hope you fairly understand how this QueueChannel and Poller work together. Now let's get into the action. Okay, to demonstrate this QueueChannel, we will quickly create a project. Go to IDE. So we'll create a Spring integration channel demo. Next, so the dependencies, whatever we require, we will add it here. Like we need Spring Web, and need a Spring integration. Spring integration. So that's it. Only these two dependencies required for to know. I want to say this example. Like on finish. Let's wait for some time to project is getting ready. Yeah, now the project is ready. So let's create our components. Let's create our packages. Entity controller is gateway. Okay, let's create our entity class. That's going to be the order ID, item name, amount, order status. So let's create run setter. So that's it. Our order class is ready. Basically, our entity is ready. So let's create our gateway. If you don't know what is gateway, please refer our previous video. So gateway is going to be your interface. So we have to annotate with staging gateway, tick, stage of order, place order. Parameter will be our order object. Just import the things. Here we have to annotate with gateway. So here we have to mention what is the request channel. So here we have to provide our channel name, request in channel. So that's it. Now our gateway is ready. Let's go to service. Order service. Annotate with service station. So here you'll create a method which will get the message from the gateway. Okay, so this will return message of order and parameter also of order. So here is the place where we have to mention from where this place order method need to pick the message. Here service activator. Here you have to mention input channel. So what is input channel? Request in channel. So that's the input channel. So now message is received by this place order method, and where the output need to be placed, that's the output channel. So here request in channel and the output channel is order process channel. Okay, so now we have mentioned what is input channel, what is output channel. Let's put our logic here. So what we are going to do is, we don't do anything, we just return the object. That's it. So what we are doing is, we are just receiving the message from the gateway and we are placing the same object into order process channel, right? So now what order process channel should do? Next method is click. So process order is the method. So it will take order as an input, and now what we have to do is, we just mention this order is successful. So we just put the status over there and we will return it. Okay. So before that, we have to mention what is the service activator. So input channel will be same as this one, order. So this is the output we placed in the previous method, right? That will be the input for this process order method. So here output channel will be order reply channel. Okay. So now we have mentioned input and output channel for process order. Now we will just set status here. Order dot get payload dot set order status. Order is successfully placed. Right. Now return order. So if you're comparing with our previous video, this is exactly exact thing we did for direct channel also. Let me tell you what is difference between that and how we are going to implement Poller in some time. Just wait for that. Let's write for what is that reply channel also. So here service, you guys seen our previous video, these things you know already. So there is no output channel we are going to place it here, because this is a reply channel which we are going to get it reply channel from this payload header itself. The dot get header dot get reply channel. Here we have to convert this channel message channel. Next, reply channel dot send off. That's it. So this is what exactly we did for sorry, here it should not be the return type, it should be void, because we are sending to reply channel. That should be void. Okay. So now we're going to implement Polar. Right. Now we have mentioned input channel and output channels, right? So if you're not mentioning what is the type of channel, by default it's going to be direct channel, right? So now we have to mention these all are the queue channels first, right? So we have to create the channel here. Now click say channel. So we have to create the order process channel. So order process channel here we have to return two channel of 10. So what does it mean is we are creating a queue channel with size of 10, capacity of 10, which means we can place up to 10 messages, right? So that's the capacity or size we are mentioning it here. With that we are creating queue channel object, right? So for that we have to provide and we have to provide the name for that. That's the order process channel. So now the order process channel is queue channel, not the direct channel. The same way we will create for reply channel 2. Now we have created the queue channel. Now your question is going to be like, where is Polar? We're not in anything for Polar, right? So we have to mention the Polar letter configurations in that, right? So now we have a service activator method study, then we have a message queue channel also study. Now we are going to configure the Polar. So where we have to configure the Polar? So for example, if you take this one, so order process channel, this is going to be the queue channel for. So when this order process order will be invoked, when this method need to be executed, so this will be executed by the Poller. Basically Poller is a thread which will take the message from the order process channel and it will hand over to the this process order method. So here is the place where we have to configure the Poller. For this output channel we configure. So we have a annotation called Poller. Here we have to give certain parameters. For example, fixed delay. This is one of the parameter we have. For example, I'm giving this 100, which means in which frequency this Poller thread need to invoke, like which means 100 milliseconds I gave here. So every 100 milliseconds it will keep on pulling from the channel, look for the message in the channel. So that's the fixed delay we're giving it. And next we have one more thing. We'll see what are the things we have in Poller. I'm just opening the Poller class. We have value trigger, task executor. We can create our own task executor. Basically thread pool we can give it this one. We're not giving, it's by default it will whatever we have in the Spring project that will be used. Or if you want to give us your own task executor thread pool, that we can give it to here. And we have a fixed delay we give, then we have fixed rate we have, and this will use it max message per poll. So what does it mean? We provided here max message per poll, which means for every polling how many messages it has to pick up. For example, I have a 10 messages in the queue. So the poller is going to pick from the message queue. So how many messages it should pick? I give one. So every polling it will take one message only. If we give a 10, every polling it will take 10 messages. So that's the configuration we are giving to here. So this is how we have to configure our poller. So I'll give the same configuration for a reply channel also. So now I think we have almost done our basic core part with respect to queue channel and poller configurations. We have done already. So what is next? What is to do? Order service is ready, gateway is ready, order is ready. Okay, let's create our controller so that we can test our code. order controller, place order. So now we have to call our gateway from here. Okay. So for a Spring integration, gateway is the entry point. So controller, once as soon as we're getting the message from the client, the controller needs to invoke the gateway. First, we will create the object for the gateway. Gateway we have provided. Gateway dot order. So uh, next we will return it. Dot gateway. Okay. So our test endpoint also almost ready. Post mapping, place order. So we have, I think, almost done everything as far as we know. So I think we don't make any mistake. Let's see. Let's start our application. We'll test it out. Okay, let's start our application. Whether it is starting successfully first. Yeah, I think it is started successfully without any error. I think it is up. Let's go to Postman to test. We are not mentioned any property configurations, which means we are not defined any port, which means it will run with 8080 port. So this is the endpoint we have. Localhost 8080 place order. So this is the order ID. I think let's see what is the type we gave. Order ID. Order ID we gave us string. So 100. Item name. Let's have a cross check. Right. Amount used double fine. Order status is fine. Okay. So this is the payload we have now. Let's trigger the message. Let's see what is getting it. Yeah, now we got the response successfully. Like, see, we give already item name. So we got the same output, but we set order status in the our process order method, right? Order is successfully placed. So it shows that its Spring integration is working. So through the Poller, through the queue channel, this method got executed. That's why this order placed successfully. Order is successfully placed. So that output we are getting it back. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this session. There are more interesting sessions coming up. So please do subscribe and share with your friends who are in industry and of interested in technical areas. And if you have any queries, any thoughts, any improvement which we in our channel, please share your thoughts comment section. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in some other session.